Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon to our listeners on Street 91.9 FM. Good afternoon to those of you in the commute, those of you who are traveling to and from work. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to the taxi drivers and maxi drivers. Good afternoon to the owners and operators of this great radio station, Mr. Neil Iwer George himself, and by extension his staff, our production team, who work assiduously to make this show what it is. Good afternoon to you, members of the pavilion, esteemed members of the pavilion who make sure that the umpires do not miss a ball. If we didn't see something on field, we are sure, 100% sure, that members of the pavilion, sometimes they see what is even not there at times. But such is a lovely game of cricket. I know this is World Cup season, so we do keep our tabs on the games. I am aware that Argentina won this afternoon. Lionel Messi again, up to his usual self. Seems to be unstoppable thus far. And there are more games carded for this evening. I think at at 5, the French will have a take at it. And I'm sorry I couldn't be on the field. I have to be here. But the French will have a take at it at 5 o'clock. And we will see if Vive la France will overcome. So good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to everyone listening, everybody who decided to join us. Good afternoon to you. And good afternoon to Senior Mattison. My senior is here, and I'll just let him introduce himself.
Yeah, good afternoon to all our callers. Good afternoon to all those fathers who just celebrated. That means the football Father's Day celebration. I think I don't know if I should mention.
Yes.
Father So good afternoon also to the trade unionists and all workers in particular, because you would have celebrated just 2 days ago, Labor Day. So what happened on Labor Day?
There was so much happened in the last week.
Yeah, we had to talk about that.
Trinidad and Tobago and the world. And as our introduction says, London Bridge is falling.
Yes, and London Bridge, of course, is falling. And besides that, we saw what happened last week, and we needed to talk about that, what was supposed to happen Friday.
Yes.
With the signing of the Iran and the U.S. Agreement, ceasefire agreement.
Yes.
And all of those things are things that we would want to talk about, because those things obviously would have impact on our lives in Trinidad and Tobago in a significant way, and we've seen it happening already. So, some would say for Trinidad and Tobago in a negative way, because the price of oil has gone down significantly to pre-war levels. So there are a number of things we want to touch on today, and good afternoon also to my friends in New York, not Chicago, New York, Texas and Miami.
Are they in the football? Not sure.
The football playing in some of them places.
Yes, Jersey I know has football. Dallas has football.
Yes.
Houston has. Miami has.
But I know they are listening to us, especially New York.
LA has. So much things going on.
New York is
on. New York is locked on.
So the game is on, and we let the game begin.
Let the game begin. Well, in the wee hours of this morning, Sir Keir Starmer has said that he will quit Labour Party leader, paving the way for a contest to decide a new Prime Minister. Speaking in Downing Street, Sir Keir said he accepted that he was not best placed. He was not best placed to lead Labour into the next general election, and he had informed the King of his decision to step down. Sir Keir added that he has asked Labour's governing body to set out a timetable to replace him, with nominations opening on the 9th of July and ending by the end of summer recess on July the 16th. He said that if there was a contest, then the new leader would be in place for Parliament returning in September, and he will do everything can ensure orderly transition of power. Sir Keir said he would remain as Prime Minister until the leadership contest is complete. He added that he would also give his successor my full and unequivocal support, knowing that they will inherit a Britain that is far stronger and fairer than the one I inherited 2 years ago. Just 2 years on the job.
And that is the history of Britain for the last 10, 12 years.
7 in 10 years, this is.
Yeah.
7 in 10 years.
10 years. That is the history. Trying to go to had that kind of history. And we had something close to that in the early 20s, the early 2000s, but we not nothing close to that. That kind of record.
Well, this is important on so many levels. This is important on so many levels.
But it also speaks to democracy. Yeah,
yes. Yeah. Yes. The democracy is quite alive, and you see the importance of institutions and customs. You know?
And you know, Britain is probably one of the country that the country that mirrors customs to a large extent, because they have a constitution, but everything is practice. And,
yes.
You know,
this is what we do. You know, we talk about this is what the Constitution says.
And morals and ethics and, you know, that kind of thing.
Higher. And if you have followed this story as well, there's a part of it that this has to do, and the media has to be saluted in this. And in all the actual resignations and transitions, the media has played a very, very, very important role. The British media, in keeping the fire burning. And there has to be so many distractions. There's Russia, there's Ukraine, there's Iraq. The British media doesn't let go of your shoe heel. They do not let go.
Just stick it going and get a click with it.
They do not let go of your, and you can't talk your way out of it. You can't glib your way out of it. They do not let go of you, like them little pumpek.
Yeah, there are no 7 days wonder like it.
No, there's no 7 days.
We forget and we move to the next
level. Yes.
A politician brush you off, and it don't work like that.
And long time we have said on this show, not being prophets of any kind, but we said on this show when we started to see him faltering at the wicket, that soon he'll be trapped LBW.
Yeah.
Soon.
Your batty wicket.
It's just a matter of time before this gentleman, because he's not reading the ball. He's not reading the ball. And one of his criticisms, they were saying that he is not astute. He's a lawyer, was a prosecutor, but in terms of the political machinations of British politics, he didn't really get a grip of that too much. He has been credited for
What's the name of the woman who served the shortest in British history? What's her name again?
I'll get her name for you.
But I think she was better than him. I think she was on the ball with certain things, but that she made some mistakes.
He has been credited because, you know, I was listening to one of the Baroness this morning, and she was saying few times Labour has been allowed to lead Britain. Few times. Not many times in Britain's history. They've had a Labour government. And his overwhelming majority in the House of Commons, out of about 600 seats, he has 400, which is tremendous. You know, so it is a tremendous accomplishment to allow the public to feel for Labour. However, that too is a two-edged sword. When you cannot deliver, because I was up early watching, obviously, you know, in 5 minutes they have a whole production on his legacy. but they were looking at how many U-turns Labour had. And that is something I realize in the British politics. You cannot U-turn on your manifesto. You do not get to U-turn on your manifesto. From the time you start to do that, by the time you begin that, your wicket is in jeopardy. Because you would have promised based on empirics, based on data, based on the
I
science.
was just about to say that. You see, anyway, talk it all. Because this have so much things that we could mirror here to talk about trying to be.
Well, Labour is in the wicket in Trinidad and Tobago.
You think so?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
They were front and center. They were front and center last week.
So
We also had, on the eve of Labor Day, the legislation with the amendment to the
I
act. No, it wasn't the IRA, I think was the name of the act. It had to do with Petrotrin, which allowed successorship.
Right.
Good? For the OWTU that went to Parliament, etc. And Labour, and forgive me for saying Labour, because really, I mean the OWTU, because we know it is not Labour in its entirety.
Yeah.
But they have been at the front of all the promises. And they were caught in the slips in Labor Day with the arrest of the young lady at the march.
But we go in it. That's a discussion by itself. I just want to go back to Chris Timer. And
Go ahead.
And the last thing he said
Go ahead.
about empirics and data.
Yes.
And you cannot go back. You can't backpedal on
No.
your
Not in a
promises-
serious
the
country.
promises you
No.
face. And the reason why it is difficult to do that in places like Britain is because of the same thing you say. They look at the empirics, they look at the data, and they make promises on the basis of that. So the people understand that these things could happen. Right? In Trinidad and Tobago, the same is reverse. we just talk. We just make promises out of feelings, out of emotion, out of how the people think.
Yeah.
How the people feel.
Yeah.
How the people, the kind of rig and the kind of
You can make
support you
empty
get.
promises,
Yes, empty promises.
vacuous, with no substance.
And therefore, you can't compare the both.
Yeah.
Right? It's difficult to do that.
Yes,
Right?
you're right.
So sometimes you hear a promise made and you know that not going to happen. That can't happen. Because you're looking at the empirics. You're looking at the data. Right? That can happen. And if it happens, something else will happen on the negative.
And
So you can't compare. That is apples and oranges. You compare.
and mind my French here, but this is the only word for it. Apparently, in Britain, if you promise them that manna will fall from heaven, they
How does it fall?
consider you a fool.
Exactly.
You're not bright.
You're not right.
They don't give you a say, well, at that time, no excuse. If you tell them that something is going to happen, and they see the science and the data that tells them that could never be
That
possible,
mean you're pissing on me and you're telling me training, which is what happens here all the
it
time
means-
with both teams. It happens with all the time.
it means you are a fool. And they do not trust fools.
Correct.
They do not trust fools to lead them. So you are held accountable, which is one of my main points before we get into anything. The accountability issue. The party holds you accountable for your leadership. It is not groupthink. The senior people,
which is what we have here.
the senior people in the Labour Party. Because up to last week, this gentleman said he wasn't going anywhere, you know. He said he's not moving. But somebody talk to somebody.
He's not the supporter.
No.
All of a sudden.
And a weekend, it's just a weekend. And somebody would have said, listen, sir, it better you retire hurt. You know? don't lose your wicket. Retire hurt. You're 99. Okay, you make your innings. You did contribute. But we cannot continue with this type of leadership with a general election soon in a couple of years. You will be the death of us. Because what we have been seeing with Labour has been making promises and making U-turns. You cut social spending. You cut all the programs that you say you weren't going to cut. You're doing the opposite of what you say you were going to do. You do not get a bly in Britain for doing that. Nobody wants to hear about the world, what happening, the world downturn. We could have studied that. We saw that you were selling us dreams. And if you keep up this trend of making U-turns, good, where the public is concerned, then we will stand no chance in the next election. And we're not waiting for that to happen.
Correct.
Go in peace. Go in peace, sayonara. may the force be with you. But you're not going to lead. We're not going to give us this 186 majority in the House of Commons. You're not going to lead us down that hill. And we love the Labour Party and all of us die together on that hill. They're not taking that. Somebody with sense, some senior person in the party says, sir, good sir, we love you, but exit stage left. It sounds like heaven, eh? It sounds almost surreal that people could make sense of their own politics and tell their own leaders enough is enough. That is unheard of.
But that is Britain.
Yeah.
That, to me, doesn't even happen in the US.
No.
Right?
No.
That is Britain.
In the US,
So-
they will say that, but you'll continue to be leader.
Yes.
You will
They say
continue
that,
to be
but
leader.
It's difficult.
Yes.
I mean, they will prosecute and all
Yeah,
that,
but you will continue to be
But
leader.
you will continue
Yeah.
to be leader. And we've seen this happen about 6 or 7 times
Yes.
in Britain so far.
Yes.
In the last 10 years or so. And this tells you that, that's it, to me, that's the true spirit of democracy.
Yes.
And a country that is able to self-check itself
To regulate.
and regulate.
Self-regulate.
Yeah. So the thing is, without what we call our constitution, and maybe the constitution for us is our sin.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, because I'm seeing things, and now you can go to where I was going, because there are a number of things inside there that I would like to talk about. We would like to just delve into it. So we
There
celebrated
is always a higher moral in civil society. There's always something higher. There's always convention.
because there's less agendas in civil society. I mean, government have its government has its prices, and people take advantage of it in countries like Trinidad and Tobago.
And you would understand that that convention transcends politics, because he didn't have to. He didn't have to go anywhere. But then he have to, if you
But
understand.
then he didn't have to, but then the empirics will work against him.
Correct. Because they were saying that you are leading us down a slippery slope. You are leading us down a slippery slope. What I heard today as well, they played a tape in Mr. Starmer when he just came in 2 years ago, flying to the US, to Washington, to make friends with somebody who says he's no Winston Churchill.
No, he flip-flopping on that whole thing
Of
already
course,
for
of
the
course.
last 2 years.
But they take seriously, good or bad, they take seriously their relationship with the US. And they don't like where it is. And they blame he for all of that. Now we know he really stood up for Britain. He really stood up for Britain in that, joining the war and etc. But that was his undoing as well. That was his undoing. They said, look, You even piss off Donald Trump. How lucky could we get? You piss off Donald Trump. You understand? And Donald Trump is relentless in his commentary. You know?
It's like, anyway.
You raise an ant's nest. What else could you do wrong? Because of all the world leaders that you have Putin, you look who you excite. So he comments. And for them, that is a big sin. Now, they forgot at the end of the day, Sir Keir Starmer still and say, well, we're not getting involved in the war. We're not. So, really and truly, he made a good stand. But they do not like the relationship that Britain now enjoys with the US. They don't like it at all.
Because since Winston Churchill, it has been one way. They've always been a serious ally, major ally of the US.
So this man has broken with couple traditions. I would say this man has broken with couple traditions, whether good or bad, whether but there's a lot to learn from how the Labour Party has self-checked.
Mm-hmm.
When will our parties self-check? When will our leaders, and I want people to understand, it is the party that held the leader to account.
Mm-hmm.
With pressure from the public, through the media. Because when your constituents start to get you fire, you have to go to the House of Commons and say, listen to me, what we doing here, brethren, it's not working, It's songing good, but it's not working. And I have to account to my constituents, my geographical constituents, and it's based on geography in the House of Commons and on the MPs. It's directly based on geography. And he was held to the sword by his own party, not by the opposition. They did what they had to do. I heard Mr. Lamy, the Deputy Prime Minister, talk as well, talking about the good things. So, and it is not that Keir Starmer didn't do good things. But I know the point. This is not Sunday school. It's not Sunday school. It's not how much good you do.
They are grounded on ethics and
correct,
and what they see as moral
correct,
good.
Correct.
Governance.
And Labour, especially because of where they stand in the politics, comes in with high hopes and a lot of promises. So I'm going to segue into Labour in Trinidad. Coming in the wicket with high hopes and plenty promises.
Oh God.
Plenty promises. I remember David Rudder's madman rant. So, vote for we and we will set you free. Somebody promising human rights. The same person take out your lights. Labour in Trinidad has saddled us with a lot of promises.
Labour in Trinidad is a joke, boy. Before we go there, because that's so much I want to say about Labour in Trinidad. But I for one time I would have to agree with your partner, and I'm not calling his name.
Yes.
Labour in Trinidad and Tobago need to get serious. You see that all them old Labour leaders, right? They need to get rid of themselves. Right? Let young progressive thinkers who really have the workers and the country at heart, and who really understand the economics and who understand everything that's going on, the legal everything. I haven't seen much of them in any of the major trade unions, because to me trade union is a kind of hustler sector now. But we need real trade unions in Trinidad and Tobago. And those old Labour leaders who still calling this, who still thinking that they have relevance in Trinidad and Tobago, need to get rid of themselves.
My friend calls them petty bourgeois, petty businessmen.
Petty bourgeois.
Businessmen cloaked in Labour clothes, but really wanting to be employers.
Maggots.
and some have been criticized as being very poor employers.
Poor employers.
Because we see them in that place on St. Vincent Street. They're employees with their own employees, with their own breach of principles of natural justice.
Because that's not what they're in it for.
Because that's not what they're in it for.
Right?
And that
It's
has
a
to
fussy
surface.
business.
That yes. And that must come to the surface. That must
So the petticoat show, because they're stupid.
that must come to the surface. So last week, during this Labor Day march, a ball was bowled. And I thought, that's me in my simplistic mind, a little phone call to a little phone call to a little phone call would have done good for Miss Phillip. Anisette says senior counsel reviewing possible constitutional breaches.
So they don't know what's the breach? They need a senior counsel to tell them that?
Yeah, money had to spend. General Secretary of the National Trade Union Center, Michael Anisette, said yesterday that they were consulting a senior counsel to review last Friday's arrest of activist Alisa Phillip during Labor Day celebrations in Faizabad. In a news conference hosted at the Cement and Waterfront Workers Trade Union Hall, Rising Road, Anisette described Phillip's arrest as not a simple matter, adding that he believed that there may have been constitutional issues in what transpired. So, how ironic it is in the middle of a butler match. In the middle of a butler match, the police were able to apprehend.
Was the policeman that lost his life in that 1940s Labor Act? What is his name again?
I can't remember.
Oh, God, but we supposed to remember that.
Yeah.
We supposed to remember that.
We'll get F for that. F for that, people.
Yeah, for that people. But that would be that. Friday.
How ironical. A march for justice, a march for freedoms, a march for liberty, a march to demonstrate that the trade union is alive and well. And you have some officers dressed in police gear snatch one of the least threat.
Yeah.
Good. One of the least, and everything went on as usual. Where was the militancy?
Remember it had government ministers and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, so
yes, no. It had food sharing, it had money passing, it had
everything.
So, a certain kind of way still.
So you have to see and don't see. You have to
and then play talking after but senior counsel.
So you have to tell the girl, give me a call, you call me.
Where she going?
Yeah, give me a call. Tell me what to do here. Labor and its unfulfilled promises. That's what Keir Starmer is in his stands for, you know. Yeah, that is how we get out. Because they started to say, wait now, you didn't promise that you wouldn't cut social spending. Now you're coming and give us this big justification how the economy bad and you have to do it. One for you. You should not have said that. You could not have delivered that. It means you insult us. It means you took us for fools. Because all the just reasons.
And now when you break that down like that, I now understand why your position is be what it is. Because you can't make certain promises without data and empirical evidence to support it. And if you do that, then you have to be taken for a fool. If you do it, I'll also.
Yeah. In intelligent society, in society that is not just litigious, but they're very literate, you can't. Listen, these people fact check. The government alone didn't have economists. the government alone enhance scientists. You could be who for the government. There are plethora of people just as qualified.
Who better, more
or
qualified.
better specialists in the area.
Seen it better than what you have.
Who will say to the country very openly, this is a pipe dream. That ain't making sense. No, from the last thing we have here, from the latest bulletin, that ain't making sense, good sir. You could be minister of who? You could be minister of all knowledge. They're not buying cat and bag. They're not buying cat and bag. And when you don't make your promises, they list them and they just watch and they're waiting with a pen. And when they start to realize it, one gone, three down, you fulfill one, you renege on four, they say, wait now. Wait. What's going on here? We're going the wrong way. What hell is that he carrying me on? We're not going up that hill, sir. Find another leader. Find another leader. No brouhaha. Nothing that says that the Constitution says, as you say. Good. And it constitutional this and it constitutional that. There's always, I heard Mr. Griffith talk about the spirit of the law. I heard the former commissioner of police talk about how these things are done.
I always say that too.
But somehow, the law changed since we have this commissioner of police. It's like, listen to me. I can't use the word on radio. The excuses we give for foolery in Trinidad and Tobago. This is the first commissioner of police we ever had. It have a different law. And as usual, it boils down to the court will interpret it. So now we're going to pay.
And that seems to be the direction plenty of them state-owned enterprise and then following.
Want to go.
It's not their money.
No. Put money in a lawyer hand.
Put money in a lawyer hand.
Put money.
For things
you know it wrong.
Common sense thing.
You know it wrong. It was wrong yesterday. It was wrong 5 years ago. But you want a legal interpretation on it. Just on a sidebar, I was listening to Morning Edition and I heard a gentleman from the Police Association talking about begging the courts to fast track the cases that deals with police promotion. How did the case reach the court? Incompetence. It's decisions made by the same police service. So now, because of the implications of these things, you don't have competent HR people within these administrative bodies. There's a state agency.
Then the answer is no. I mean,
have to be.
But obviously, I mean,
because in these cases, it won't be one or two people that bypass, it'll be 50. It'll be people that make all kind of funny arrangement for, and it affects so many people within the service. But the point is, those matters are before the court because of errors and willful errors sometimes.
Sometimes willful errors.
Planned.
Sometimes
corruption. They know what they're doing wrong.
Mm-hmm.
They know they're doing wrong.
And the saying here what happened? Go so?
Yeah.
The court go to interpret that.
The court go interpret that.
And we'll pay down the road. The state will pay.
The state will be.
You, John Public, will pay.
I want you, for me, the number to call is 3420081 4665 In your view, has Labour been able to deliver on its promises thus far? And I don't want you to remember Labour in this incarnation, because this Labour also worked with the last team too. Let me be real. So I'm talking about Labour in general as you have observed them over the last 10, 12 years, we have to say. Because somehow they just find a friend in opposition heading into government. And when that friendship done, you find an next friend again. And because this is not the first alliance they have made.
They're like Agalis.
Yeah. This is not the first alliance they have made.
Parasites.
How would you rate the promises that Labour have made to the public, to the workers, over the years? How do you analyze it? Do you see they have been doing good on their promises? Do you see a problem with they can't manage their relationships too good? There's fall out of love quick. Do you see them holding hands and say we're going to bring down the government? And before you can say London Bridge is falling down, they're on the next side again. They're on the next side again. Then we say, okay, we have to have Labour part of the government, but we have had Labour ministers. Has that helped us?
That's the most decadent. Who used to say that, boy? Morgan Job. That's some of the most decadent decisions. Why you think? I mean, you see what's going on in the country with Labour and others. Why you think they'll make good ministers? Why you think they understand?
Want them there. If you want them there, workers will have a say, and workers will workers and workers and will workers.
Come on.
Good afternoon, caller.
Hey, good afternoon, Nalo and Mackerson.
Good afternoon.
Happy belated Father's Day. Mackerson, I say down in the march and you that form a union, man.
Come now, man. What union, man? I was a union, man.
But you just stand up for the right side of the people?
I stand for the rights of employers and workers.
Or you had a different field?
I am.
You going up the stairs?
I want to, as I was telling a group of people last week, I am HR, and HR is advocate for workers and also advocate for employers. So that's why I am very neutral.
Yeah, I see Roger for the last 9 years plus he was on the next side. He dragged my cane. Rowley promised him they do all the fine me. I know what this government promised him. I know he promising the workers. Because then them is only for themselves, they really see the interest of the workers and them, Them alone want to drive Road Royce and this ham and lamb and jam, You know that, Marcus? You know that? Don't laugh, it's a serious thing.
But I will eat on both sides.
But I see...
I will eat on both sides.
I see, and I said, man from down with the union, down by the waterfront down there, he stand up on behalf of the young girl.
Yeah.
Is that what time?
He take off his political hat. Because I find that well unjust. Because there's a march is because you go down there, you march, you launch your complaint, this, that, all kind of thing in there. So I find that I like what I treat the younger man, some big strong black man. But she's a threat to the society, but she voice real powerful, but I'm not joining she, but she had to keep up different numbers. And let me do with the real issues that are going on in the country.
But that's how.
So young lady, let's keep it up.
That's how most of them union.
And look, they try to silence your voice because you is the younger generation that tell move forward. It's too much of square pegs in the wrong hole, and all the politics going right now in this country. I think something to that. Marcus, today, this week will make it 4 fortnight now.
Yeah, get paid.
I had a hard fight.
4 fortnight.
But thanking God for life. That's the football keep mapping.
That's like 2 months. So you get paid for about 2 months not then.
Yeah. And Marcus, I ain't thinking that because to the church I'm going out every morning, making sure I go all my duty and make it this morning.
Wow.
This morning, put me down in a drain by raw fishes, They say I was to get money Thursday. Oops, no money. They say the Monday today was to get money. When I go in the bank, I see $12. I see they bring, out of 13 workers, they bring 1 check and give a worker.
What company is that?
After 2 months and something wrong with that management and...
KFC? What company is that?
Oh.
What company
That work TT, that work around on that kid shaman, ministry of local government.
Nah, man, I feel
and ministry of works and transport.
You alone must you alone why again pay, man. I mean I think
no, look at that work chat me alone. Me alone speaking out.
You just talk too much there.
Because me and a political that time, me not singing for my supper. The same way did they like me for the last 9 years on this program I born out the last regime. Sean Flick wasn't giving me $1,000 was to cost the UNC, you know. All that Kingsley was costing UNC right now you on the government radio station. They used to pay to cost the UNC and the penalty the best UNC. I know what's going on. I want to try to blow them out my question. So nobody paying me. I burn on fire and the wicked and the unjust, so they deliver poor people out there because I heard people crying out. I can send a message and voice note with people crying out.
Leave me out of that and leave my program out of that. Go and make your fuck. Yeah.
Alright, I know your program balance. You filthy rich. Bless.
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.
Tell us how you rate Labour and its promises to the country, to the nation. Good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon, Mr. Matheson and Mr. Rollock.
Good afternoon.
Rating Labour just, I don't know. I think that they're getting off of the slumber. I don't think that Labour really, I won't, at this point in time, I'm not going to rate Labour. They went to sleep with the former regime, and probably they're now trying to get up. And I don't know. I won't waste. I just, if you spare me, with all due respect, Mr. Morlocks, I want to talk about because I find your discourse this afternoon very interesting with respect to Keir Starmer.
Go ahead.
And I think you read it very early, in terms of his demise, and it has come to pass. And we also discussed the question about the politics there. It's completely different, and it has to do, again, with people's understanding, I think, of the politics, the Westminster model, system of government, and the extent to which people are willing to tolerate anything. And you also look at the role of the media. You look at, because when you listen to Sky Television, I'm certain, and you listen to people like Trevor Phillip and Beth Wisby and those people, the way they question, they probe, they get into the questioning of members of parliament, right, and politicians as a whole, is completely different. There you have, the question is facts. When they come and they question, you see it's facts, they have the evidence, they have everything before them. And they're very in-depth in terms of how they question those people. Not in Trinidad here. Trinidad here, you sit down and you listen, people have their own agenda, people on a set of mischief, and that is Trinidad. With respect to Keir Starmer again, he had problems with respect to, again, as you mentioned, the welfare. Instead of trying to increase people's welfare, ease people's hardship, you go and interfere with people's welfare fund money and all that kind of thing. So he was sliding down all the time. Then he had this Manderson problem with respect to Epstein. Mm-hmm. Then you spoke about where Trump telling me he was no Churchill. That was an embarrassment, right? So all these things, came down on him because I've been for it, because I have some relatives there who part of the TUC, which is the Trade Union Congress up there. And we speak and give me some information. But his demise or his slide, what was from last year, from the beginning.
Yeah.
And then, as you said, not in living up to his promise and all that kind of thing, the promises that he would have made on the hosting and that kind of thing. And that is where he fell. He fell badly. But Trinidad is a different kind of people just on bacchanal here and took the talk. Then they're ready to build no country. You get caught up for weeks and weeks with stupidness about, and as you mentioned, Job was one of the persons who, and I had deep respect for Morgan Job because he was a no-nonsense man. And everything that he said in his utterances, his contribution during his lifetime to the public, has come to pass. Mm-hmm. Nowhere to go. We're just stuck in a patch. It's frustrating. So this is where I think that Stammer, and we have a lot to learn, and the politicians here. And another issue, I listened to it this morning with Beth, and what she was saying is that one of the things that where he fell badly, communication.
Correct. Caller, we're going to break now. Call us right after the break, okay?
Yes, yes.
Yes, thank you. See you after the break on the Third Empire for more.
You've got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the street 919 FM.
When every hand start waving, this KFC a craving. Extra crispy or spicy, it blazing. But don't get left back, you better run down the line and grab a KFC before it's full time. When the game start kick off, fingers get lick off. Dipping popcorn chicken in 3 kinds of sauce. But careful with your tackle, keep your hand out the box or hand your red card and point to the spot. Now you dip on, you dip on, you dip on, you dip. Get your hand in the action before a ball kick. Yes, you dip on, you dip on, you dip on, you dip. Somebody bring the KFC quick, I'm telling you. Get your hands on KFC's extra crispy or spicy popcorn chicken, starting at just $35. Or grab the winning combination: 3 pieces of chicken and 4 tenders for $79.95. KFC, it's finger licking good.
TechFlex TT Limited, the #1 computer store in Trinidad and Tobago, has all your tech needs. We have the latest computers, powerful MacBooks, and affordable Chromebooks for school and work, providing new and refurbished options to suit everyone's budget. Also, we carry a variety of printer options and ink solutions for your home and office needs. Need repairs done? Our experienced technicians can solve your tech problems. Visit us now at any of our 2 locations: Wilson Road, Scarborough, next to Royal Castle, or Penco Street, Montrose, Chagonas. Call 235-4919 for more info. TechFlex TT Limited. Affordable tech, exceptional service.
Blessings in the wonderful name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. You are invited to listen to the Final Hour broadcast, heard every Monday
from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. in the morning on the Street 919 FM.
Hear my mom, Pastor Helen Garcia, and myself, Pastor Valentine Garcia Jr., preach the Word of God to the elderly, youth, and children. We can be contacted at 629-0113 or 623-8444. The church is located at 26 Prince Street in Port of Spain. We look forward to you joining us. God bless you.
As my life I lay it on the altar, as my life.
When the first whistle blows, your instincts kick in. You grab the bucket, dip, tear, share, and crunch down for every finger-licking good play. KFC popcorn chicken is back in the game. So get your hands in the action with extra crispy or spicy popcorn chicken, starting at just $35. Try it with our winning sauces and get your hands messy with the drip. Or get the winning combination: 3 pieces of chicken and 4 tenders for $79.95. To satisfy every craving during game time, it must be KFC.
Peace of God be multiplied unto you in the precious name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. This is Redemption Hour, a gospel program where God will reveal His mind to you on how to live a fulfilled life and to please Him in all areas. Join Pastor Femi Afolabi, the National Overseer of Deeper Christian Life Ministry, Trinidad and Tobago, and other seasoned ministers for a time of divine encounter as they minister and pray for you every Saturday by 9 o'clock in the morning of this station, Street FM 91.9. Our church is Deeper Life Bible Church, number 1 Cochrane Street, opposite Tunapuna Police Station, Tunapuna. The times of our services are as follows: Sunday worship service, 9 a.m., Monday Bible study, 6 p.m., Thursday revival hour, 6 p.m. The redemption hour is a life-changing moment you cannot afford to miss. For special prayer or counseling, contact Pastor Femi Afolabi on 778-9933. God bless you as you listen to this program. Jesus is Lord.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
And we're back. We're back with you on the Third Empire. And we were asking the question about the relationship, the hate-love relationship between labor and government. We have seen in Britain where labor's inability to fulfill its promises has ended to the detriment of its leadership. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon again, Mr.
Yes, go ahead.
Mr. Relax, in trying to analyze the trade unions here, and yes, you have, if you look at the politics of the trade unions here, we look at it from the historical perspective. And my understanding, looking at the unions, they've been always aligned to political parties. In fact, the trade union, people like Cartel, people like Sutton and all these people, you have people like, they belong to the teachers union guys, Mogo Paul and all these people. They were always aligned to the PNM. They were PNM. And what has happened here is that I think during the 70s, late 70s, you had what you call, I think, the separation. And people, you have the Trade Union Congress and you have the Council of Progressive Trade Union, Joe Young and Weeks and all these people and them. So they've been divided ever since. One closely aligned with the PNM and the other one with Pandey and Joe Young and those people. And that is how it grew over the years. So in terms of labor unity, they've been to a large extent, and that exists today. Because I heard on the news where you have 13 unions not supporting the government and how many supporting the PNM and all that kind of thing. And so that's the divide. And that's how it has been for quite some time. And you mentioned this, apparently they move from side to side wherever they can find something, something to go with. They go on that side. And then probably when election time come and they jump on the other side. And that is how they are being perceived. And that is based on their history, based on their record. Right?
That is necessary also for a union to remain relevant in a society. Well, not necessarily. I don't want to say relevant because the industrial relations system is made up of a tripartite arrangement, which is unions or workers' representatives, government, and employers. But unions, to support what you were saying, unions to a large extent derive their powers not only from the masses, but from their alignment with government over the years. And that you're correct. That has happened from time immemorial, from Basdio Pandey. Well, not Basdio Pandey would have started after 1985. But I'm talking about from Eric Williams and the alignment with those labor leaders that you spoke about. But even after with that movement, or I should say that alliance, the National Alliance for Reconstruction, that alliance include a lot of labor in government at the time. Right?
Well, I am acquainted with the history of the relationship between labor and government, and it is not a Trinidad phenomenon.
No, it isn't.
It's a regional phenomenon and worldwide.
In the US, it is the same
so
thing.
we have the JLP, the Jamaican Labour Party. We have the BLP. We have the ALP, the Antiguan Labour Party.
The same thing in Australia and most
so
other places.
so labor Labour's participation in government and in governance is unquestionable.
Yes.
And I think it necessary. However, our issue is being held to the sword and to the standard of accountability. The same accountability that you hold others to. The other party is the same way. So you don't get to promise workers things and then try to cut their pensions. You don't get to renege on it.
This is why if we were to bring it back to Steinman and what we said about Steinman, operate with truthfulness, operate with dignity, operate with moral and ethics.
Yes.
So come and give us the numbers, give us the figures, give us the empirics, give us the data, and work with that. But you can't do that because... go ahead.
Why you think that the question of the issue of Starmer performance and behavior and how it is perceived not just in Britain but internationally, how it is that the members of the Labour Party or the government party, the government parties and membership, the ministers and membership as a whole, were able to deal with Starmer so effectively, so swiftly. Because one of the things that I think would have hurried his demise or his ousting of power, or getting out of power, was this guy they call Nigel Farage.
Yeah.
Because what was happening, his popularity, and the polls were telling you that the next election that Labour would be ousted, would be removed from office. They were polling very low. And I think that the membership of the Labour Party, they panicked, and they had reasons to panic. And that as I said, that hastened his being forced out of office.
Well, quite succinctly, right? And this is the marked difference that we have with our local scenario. When a party is in jeopardy in Britain, in Westminster, as they say, the leader steps aside. When a party is in jeopardy in Trinidad, they call an election.
Go to the polls.
Well, that is it.
Not even we go to the polls. We sit it out until election.
Or we call snap election.
Well,
we don't relent on power. We don't step aside and say, let somebody else reform or lead the party. We say it's time to vote. And that has been to all of their detriments. We don't allow it to transition. We don't give way. He has given way, He didn't have to leave.
Well, yes, the thing, he had options.
Yes.
Because what was happening is, I think he was cornered.
Yes,
because there were certain things that he had to do.
Correct.
Right? So he was cornered. He had, in Trinidad here, a prime minister will call an election.
Yeah.
He would use the threat of a general election in order to maintain discipline and loyalty.
Correct.
But in England, based on the way the Constitution, I have to say the Constitution operates, and the Constitution of the party, because the Conservative, they have their own the Constitution differs from that of the Labour, because you saw how they got rid of Liz Truss.
Yeah.
And those people, Boris Johnson, they were very strict. It
Yes.
didn't take too long. You understand?
Because the trigger in it, caller, the trigger in it, the trigger in it, they have realized that you don't vote for a person, you vote for a party.
For ideology and
correct?
movement.
And if that leader no longer represents the ideology that will make us win the next election, then the answer to that is not calling an election. That's a dumb move. We change the leader.
Yeah.
We're going to change the leader. He is leading us down the wrong road.
Yes.
And we want to stay in power. We want to continue government. But the way how he doing it, they will change the leader. They are not afraid of that. It is not maximum leadership.
And I think one of the things also that I think, and I try to find that difference in Trinidad for quite some time.
Yeah.
Because then, as you said, the party has, in England, the Labour Party has an ideology.
Yeah.
And people know the ideology. They know they stand for for the welfare system,
yes,
nationalization. They know that when you go to the conservative, it has to do with privatization.
Yes.
It has to do with capitalism and that kind of thing, free market. They know all these things. They're not in support of immigration and that kind of thing, migration and thing into England. And you have a very large, let's say, population coming out from even the Caribbean. You have even in India and all these. So, and you have a lot of the population, the immigrant population is very large.
Yes.
And most of them support the Labour Party.
Yes.
As opposed, so it comes like if you vote for the Conservative, you actually, as a poor person, they look at it in terms of health, in terms of welfare and all these different things.
Yes.
You vote against yourself, your own interests. So people vote for their interests and they don't hasten, they don't stick with that. They know what is in their interest and they vote with what is their interest. And if you're not delivering what you promise and what they expect from you, they get rid of you.
Yeah.
Not in Trinidad yet. Trinidad is a different kettle of fish.
The boss say election time. We're going down the road
Yeah,
together.
they
We will
don't-
die on this hill.
Yeah, they run with that. So that I think that those are some of the lot of differences there, but those are some of the differences that I recognize.
You're very correct, caller. Very correct.
Yeah, so that is it. So this is where we are, and I hope that those politicians here, especially the incumbent, would learn. That is a lesson to politicians in this country here, because it's almost similar,
Yeah.
But the fact remains is that you need to sharpen up the people in this country.
Yes.
They
Yes.
need more educated
Yeah.
in terms of the politics, and they must look outward. They must look towards those countries. Look to Canada. Look to see how the system operates. Because they operate under similar,
Yeah.
the system is similar, and you have a lot to learn instead of just keeping your eyes or your nose in Trinidad. Look to see what is happening outside in the Commonwealth. Look to see how best what you can learn from them. All right, thanks again, Mr.
Thank you, caller.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The Commonwealth, not all of them, but a lot of them have a lot of things that we could learn from.
Of course, we could, but we seem to not be able to copy the good things because it can't work in Trinidad. We always say it can't work. That's what we say. That's the excuse we say.
Well, to some extent, they're correct when they say that. Lee Kwam Yew said that.
No, but we need to try it first.
Yeah?
We had to try it first.
But the thing is, we haven't been able to find that place where we could. And first, we had to come together. We had to understand it's a common cause. Trinidad and Tobago, Indian and African, everybody, we are one Trinidad and Tobago. We live in the same place, and we have the same ideals.
We need to ban and outlaw hickory dickory dock. We must erase that from our arguments, from our vocabulary, from our parliament. Parliament must not be a place where we talk stupidness and fables and inventing and talk about your mother wear a blue dress and this one happened in 95, and that we must eliminate that. Because there's picong in the British Parliament, I see it. There are a lot of innuendos, a lot of jabs, but they're all based on facts, not fiction. Not busting a mark and talking people business and we do
it's the people business.
Yes, we don't need that. Yes. So then we will get down to the empirics. So we will get down to my interpretation of the empirics versus your interpretation of the empirics, but we will be talking empirics. We'll be talking facts. We will not talk about who say, them say, make believe, this did happen, and I hear you was on a list, and I really, oh my God, oh gosh. And that is the level of our discourse. Spears. But we're examining the relationship with labor and government. This is post-Labor Day. You give me your take on that relationship. They're still in love? You still seeing love in that relationship or somebody getting abused?
Well, they love. It's just that they have
The children benefiting from the love
They
relationship.
have a concern with respect to a constitutional concern.
Well, that is one as an outlaw, you know. the main players very, very quiet, you know. But I was glad to see in the press conference a member of the OWTU was there. I didn't see who I wanted to see there, so at least somebody blue was there. But I found it funny the other normal blue people we see were not there. Is it that they couldn't say?
Well,
they couldn't make a stand?
People have interests, you know.
Oh.
And them interests might be stymied.
Oh. Your hands tied behind your back.
And it's not like, to me, it's not supposed to be anything where you feel you want to bring down the government.
No, it's not that, because you could be part of it.
It shouldn't be about that. It shouldn't be about that, because, I mean, trade unions all over the world are part of governance structures.
You see...
What we have to be able to do, we have to be able to speak the truth.
In our 2x4 minds, if you oppose something, you cannot be part of it.
That is retrograde.
Yeah. So if I disagree with a decision, it means I have to lead a whole uprising and go in the papers and this and that and because I disagree.
No, that's retrograde.
And worse yet, I can't say I disagree.
That is infantile minds.
Correct. And I cannot say I disagree. I'm going against the grade unpatriotic as a sellout.
That is imbecilic.
I don't like the party. And I have said to people, you think everybody in the PNM thinks that way? You think everybody in the UNC thinks that way? You really believe so? You believe the entire party thinks like that? We see leaders, but we believe everybody thinks like that. You think everybody agreed when they went to Tobago in the hotel? You think so? No? Actually, it was leaked out that a lot of people did not agree. And that is democracy. That is thought. That is responsibility. But somehow we believe that you should hush. You're a traitor. You want to bring down the party because you disagree. And you cannot openly say you disagree. Look how many Republicans disagree with the American president. He has maybe the majority, but those who are very vocal and they are fearlessly so. They do not care. They Republican long time. He just come. And they will openly say, we disagree on this. We disagree. That don't mean they switch to Democrat, you know. But that's how we think.
Diehards like Kennedy. And
yeah.
That other guy from Texas.
Yeah.
You had them diehards who will just talk some moral outlandish Trumpian things.
Yeah.
But you'll have.
Yes, but he's been put to the sword a lot. And we see that. I want your take on it. 342-008-14665-391. Labor. This is post-Labor Day. You saw what happened on the Labor Day. You've been watching Labor in the wicket, coming out on the field, talking to the batsmen. How do you, or the batters as a caller will correct me, how do you feel? Do you feel comfortable with that relationship between Labor and government and the promises made by Labor pre-election? The Labor agenda. How in your mind, how is the Labor agenda going?
For me, to a large extent, it has been fulfilled. The things Labor want, and Labor probably not asking for much, but the things they want, they seems to be getting it in terms of they being made part of decisions and that kind of thing.
What?
That's not the results for the people. I'm still looking at what happens with, I know there are drafts, I know there are amendments to the Industrial Relations Act, but I haven't seen anything come out. I haven't seen any assent, any major. We know, you and I know what is needed because we are on the ground. We doing work as consultants and that kind of thing. So we understand labor to the extent that we understand what is necessary for a smooth industrial peace, what is necessary for both a harmonious relationship between labor and employers and that kind of thing, because that is what will facilitate to a large extent productivity. And what we still need to see, we still waiting, I still waiting to see certain things happen in terms of the Industrial Relations Act and changes and that kind of thing. It hasn't happened as yet, to the extent that it is assented and it is made law. But some would say a lot has happened. Some would say that more have happened in the last year than has happened in the last 10 years with respect to labor. Right? And I would agree with those who say that. Right? Because they had a minister of labor who, for the most part of that 9 years, came out of the labor movement and nothing happened. But I get where you're going. Labour have made a conscious decision to join with government to the extent that they actually form is like a Labour government. And now it appears as though they are at variance with each other in some areas. So to what extent that will affect governance, to what extent that will, because they're not doing it, they're very lukewarm in relation to how they're doing certain things. They're saying things but like they're holding back because they want it to go certain places. But I'd like to hear what the public have to say.
I make the timely distinction, and I stand by my comments here, between labor and the OWTU.
Right, the OWTU.
The OWTU is a microcosm of labor. Maybe even very pivotal in the leadership of labor.
Well, because of the power before, but they don't necessarily have power again.
However, giving the OWTU what they want is not necessarily helping labor.
I agree with you.
And that is my problem.
Because they themselves have been very bad employers.
And not only that, there are so many aspects, other aspects of industrial relations that affect many more times a much wider group of workers.
Industrial peace, what happens at the court, productivity to the greater extent.
And those are the discussions
those are the things
we are not having.
Yeah, those are the things
we are having.
They're affecting nothing.
And no slight, and this is not a slight, we're having Petrochin discussions. And I'm happy for the workers of Petrochin. And the past workers and all that, all the efforts. I'm not going to, that's not a bad thing. But that is not representative of labor. That is a sect. That's like saying teachers. Right? So that is almost like saying you give teachers 20% increase and you say you give labor what they want. No, you give tutor. So I have seen advancements made by the OWTU. I have seen progress. I have seen their fight to get the refinery started. Very laudable efforts on their part. But labor's trust to organize the disorganized of workers, domestic workers, and so many workers outside that sector. And it's biased. It's biased to those who are in the energy sector.
Labor's trust to promote productivity. That is what we need.
Correct.
To promote productivity.
Correct.
Productivity is what will move us to the next stage
and,
of our lives.
And that discussion is beyond, that's not an OWTU discussion.
Correct.
That's a productive, that's a national discussion.
Exactly.
So how do you want to have national appeal when my teachers, and I have to thank Senior Rousseau for this. He reminds me all the time that Butler's discussions and the things that Butler made an issue affected all and sundry. And that is the appeal that had the country behind him. So much that where he was going, they was hiding him. If it was sectarian, if it was about the energy sector alone, if it was about the agricultural sector alone, the other people will say, that's not we business. That's not we business.
Correct.
So you have one group of workers get a little 10%, What about Postal Workers Union? None. None. And we have to think about a win for all. Because a win for some is what causes the division. That's what causes the division. Some get through. I get through, you know. You get through? Nah, boy, me get through. Boy, hard luck. Better luck next time. I get through, though. I fix. I get through. I in government. I get through. Yeah, we get through, boy. Yeah, boy, we in parliament. And where are the people behind us? Where are the people behind us? Where are the workers? And where are the workers in the non-energy sector? Which is the vast majority of workers. The majority of workers do not work in the energy sector. Where are the rest? Where are the policies and the strategies and the changes in the Industrial Relations Act that affect the widest group of workers? Yes, successorship is nice. Yes, the medical plan, they get back in there, and those things are laudable achievements. I'm not discounting those things. But those things are piecemeal. They are sectarian. It come like you cut a little deal. You cut a little deal. You cut a little deal with a little group.
And that's why we see what we see.
Exactly.
It's selfish.
Yeah.
It's not thinking. It's
Yeah.
about.
And but you see, you ride on the backs of all workers, and you rile them up, and everybody out there in their jersey. Everybody have on a jersey. Ooh, cool. You know what blue jersey I see? I didn't know some of them fellas could fit in them blue jersey. If you see blue jersey like it gave away. And yeah, we're stronger together. This time the police come and grab one and go on. Call me now again. Call me.
You know your partner. We partner fellow umpire.
Yeah.
He always talk about the Willoughby syndrome. And he like that to the Willoughby syndrome. He said Willoughby says a Willoughby could by itself take down a lion.
Yeah.
But a lion will hurt them, take down the weakest among them. And all of them will run to a safe distance and stand up, turn back and watch that baby get eat.
Yeah.
That's the Willoughby syndrome.
Do we like the mama guy in Trinidad politics? Do we like it? Do we buy it wholesale? Is it something that we like? You know, we just say, tell the truth. Tell the workers the truth. Tell the population the truth. But if that means they ain't going to elect me, I lying to them. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. Because it is not a discussion on empirics. It is not a discussion where we have serious debate and people trying to make sense. It's about who could outdo who with promises. I say I created 40,000 jobs. You born nah. I doing better than that. I created 20,000. Now both are we lying, because between both of us, we know it could only have about 10,000 jobs. Good afternoon, caller.
Hey, good evening.
How much jobs you creating? Give me a promise.
Roll up. You see you and Matterson. No, Ole am bright, you know. Ole very intelligent. I sit up, that's why I tell you that I've been calling Ole and listening. Yes. And here what happened. Both of you know exactly what's going on here. Ole on the ball. You see what you just talking about it? I agree with that 100%. But it's sad for some, eh?
Yes, you're right.
Very. You can't tell me your negotiation finished before the election and you can get back there. That's wrong.
Yeah.
But I plan to stay quiet and listen. We'll continue to listen. I want to hear Ole for a few days more.
You're lying, boy. It's World Cup season, boy. You watching?
No.
Where is this score? Where is this score? Tell me now, because
no. Here what happened. I don't know that. I don't bother with this thing. In the sense of how I used to be. When I was younger, I think I was a fanatic.
Because Brazil is so good again.
No,
and you want to turn coat.
You understand? Yeah, but I listen to all of these days. What's that? Oh, you're very intelligent.
We selling promises. You're buying, we selling promises. What you want, we promise you.
Yeah, man. You're going on. Well, they have a nice evening. I don't listen every damn thing now.
All right, cool.
You understand? But I have a contribution to make, but
Yes.
I'm still waiting.
Okay. We here. Anytime you're ready.
Matter, so, you know, you're my partner. And roll up. I hear you mention something about somebody get 10%. Stop it, eh? 2 into 6 is straight, and 2 into 10 is 5. Don't ever forget that. I go on.
All right, cool. You ain't buying no promises. You don't want to buy now. We selling today. Is this a promised land? You promise people thing, boy? Promise you will get jobs for all. The things we like to hear.
Just like waterfall.
Yeah. The economy will turn wrong.
It might turn wrong.
Good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
Just like we patch so much at thousands of holes, but in my area, I ain't seen any of them get patched. You understand?
The patch come off.
So we keep sharing these things, and you're quite right, you know. You all know the game, you know. But it's sad that the people have to try to come together and forget this red and yellow and see red, white, and black.
Correct.
You understand? And let us unite, because the power is in our hands, you know. If, as I said this morning, if 200 people put $1, that is $200,000, 200,000. If I have 2,000 people put $1, right? Good. We could help one another if we have 1 million people to put $1 each, right? You know how much the power is in our hands, you know. Brother McCandle, deceased, so always tell us that the power is in our hands, you know, and it's amazing to see the vision that these people had at that time. You understand? And it's so sad to see what happened with this red and yellow, and we just, you know, we jumping from here to there, and nothing really happening positive for Trinidad, especially the last 9 years was the worst. You understand?
And caller, that is what I dislike the most, and I'm going to say this openly about Mr. Marcel's speech. I did not center in on his race bait. I could ignore that. What I centered on is the we and the them. I wanted to ask him who is we and who is them.
That's why I had a problem with it.
That's what they always do.
That's
This
why I had a
man
problem with it.
in 4 elections ago, when man and say that side.
Yeah.
You understand what you mean by that side?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I wanted to ask him, and if them don't like we, but you claiming you like we, how is that evidenced? Show me how you like me. Because you say them don't like me, we will live with that.
For starters, they separate me from them.
Yeah.
And then them in office.
Yeah.
What will happen to me? You're clown.
But if I come by you can't help me?
Correct.
So how is that evidenced? So this we and them and us and they.
Yeah, people have to see themselves.
Correct.
And see the bigger picture, and this is what's not happening.
See opportunity.
The yellow and the red shades we have on the blocking the eyes, some of our eyes.
So when you do a serious class analysis, let me break it down for those of you listening. They are all friends, eh? They are all friends. Don't take that foolishness you see in the parliament.
In Trinidad and Tobago is not about race.
It's class.
It's about who have.
Yeah.
And who don't.
And when you go to the inclusive and the exclusive, you will see them there.
You will see from both sides.
Both sides knocking glass while you outside in general.
Because you was fighting up about because you was fighting up about race.
Fighting with one another.
Correct.
And color.
I remember Harvey Boris on a program was talking about Dr. Harvey Boris. He was saying we are king and queens of the scrums. We fight for the crumbs that fall off the table. And there's big war going on with the ants. But we will never be interested in the bread. It's when these crumbs fall off, we align.
Yes.
And it's big war.
Because somehow we feel that is unattainable.
Yeah. But we will never fight for bread. We don't want the bread. It's these crumbs. And so I don't understand who this we, them, us, you know. Wealthy people know wealthy people. Wealthy people know wealthy people and end up in wealthy places.
Right.
Money doesn't have a color. Good?
Yeah, but it's a sad thing. You see what's going on with the World Cup?
Wow.
You see how much non-white in that World Cup and in some of those predominantly white countries.
France.
You understand?
You feel you could play for those countries and study race and them don't like we? Vinicius, all of those star world footballers, Balotelli, they will tell you about racist chants and monkey chants. They playing the football. They're not stopping. They're not going home and cry and say them don't like black people and this and that and the other. They're playing the football. Give me my £50,000. Give me my £100,000 to feed my family. Don't start to fill my head with who don't like me. And they have stands against racism in sport. But it is not a deterrent. You don't stop playing sport because they don't like you. They don't you don't stop playing sport because somebody made an off comment. You deal with it, but you forge ahead.
Stop eating doubles. Don't support them.
Yeah.
You understand? All kind of stupidness.
All this foolishness. Before you open your double stand tomorrow and make money, just like the man who making money next year.
Exactly.
Because he's selling for 150 and you going for 125, and you learn to compete and make money. You studying about them and we don't like and they feed us these things, and some people sit and stretch out their hands and buy promises.
True. And it every election it increased so much.
Yeah.
You know, when committee election it increased so much.
They're giving us jersey to wear. You wear a jersey.
I was very disappointed with our leader.
Yeah.
That she never met with the brothers and them from NJAC when she won, because they tried to meet on several occasions in Rota and so on, and she never really meet with them. You understand? And those are brothers who work without pay for years and years and years.
Yeah.
You understand? Trying to mobilize people, get black people in the bank, stand up for a lot of things. Look at 1970. Look at the type of mobilization took place in those days.
Yes.
You understand? And this is what we have to encourage people, you understand?
Yes.
To come out and stand up for the right things.
The right thing is the right thing. And it must not be because of your party allegiance. If it's wrong, it's wrong.
And all this kind of thing. Exactly.
We saw example of that the other day. Senior Matheson brought it up with the funeral of the Mercedes girl. The leader of opposition was there, and the member of parliament was there. It didn't matter, because if you don't go, they will say insensitive. If you go, they will say it's politics. Forget that. There was an issue. A young lady died, and you attend. You pay your respect. But we see things. We've been programmed to see things through a lens. If you show up, they will say, "Look, he push here, he look for votes." Look at him, hypocrite. He don't come down here. But you take God out of your thoughts and don't attend. You're so disrespectful. You yourself have no compassion. You do not win. Once you are divided with we versus them and they versus us, you'll always have to dance to that tune. And you will miss opportunity.
Exactly.
You will miss opportunity to sell your brand, to make a dollar.
And you could never really connect properly with the masses.
Come on.
You never really experience the true essence of having everybody supporting you.
Correct. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Yes, thank you, caller. Thank you.
Keep it up, man.
Yes, you keep it up. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. But we are so... Do we like the promises? Call us 6 342-008-146-65391. Good afternoon, caller. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to the Empires.
Good afternoon, sir.
So what I am seeing and what I am hearing is probably scripture fulfilling.
Go ahead.
Because, as it is said, nation will be against nation and kingdom will be against kingdom. Do what you want. That can't change. You understand? That will happen. We could mamagay ourselves and say this, but the truth is the truth. Everybody could say, well, okay, this one not racial and that one not racial, but it is. That's a simple fact. And you can see it in everybody's action. All over Europe, all everywhere. All part of this oath. And go in the scripture and see how long that showed 3 times in Matthew and all them mentioned that. And we balance now is who more racial than who. And everybody could say, but some people don't want to voice it.
Yeah.
They don't want to say it.
Yeah.
I mean, they say some places they will go and hide and say it. Some people come out to the open and say it. Straight up.
Yes.
Yeah? Most of us underneath saying that. But what we do, when we're looking for favors from others, we bend and say all kind of things. Because we want finance for some reason from somewhere. So I join with you.
Yes.
Or say nice things about you to get they bait you. That kind of stuff. But it's a fact. So
Labor and government. They've been in a relationship. And there's a whole question about excessive force that will come up for discussion. I saw an article by Ms. Suniti Maraj asking about the Law Association, who we know they get sore throat very often. Good afternoon, caller.
I have to call back.
Yes, go ahead, caller.
Because when you say labor and government, let me tell you something.
Yes.
I'm in New York.
Yeah.
And I never seen no 638 or any union campaign for no government. None at all. You understand? Iron workers, steam fitters, none. Never see them for either Democrat or Republic.
No, but they have a lobby. They have a lobby.
Their lobby, no, they're not. Hello, straight up, I never see them on no platform saying such and such.
Yeah, labor interact with.
And before I call this, I make sure I call men in the union and ask where it ever happened. They say they didn't.
No, it doesn't happen. But what they do have is that labor in the US has a certain kind of power, right? And that is they interact with the state. So they, just like what we try to do in Trinidad and Tobago, where we try to give labor a voice, what they do is that labor is like affirmative action. Labor must have a say in certain things in employment and that kind of thing in most states in the US. So
yes, they would do that. But they're not campaigning for you, but whoever win they on that stretch from the labor.
Yes.
Whether you're a Republican or not.
You're correct. You're correct with
that. This is the reason.
You're correct with that.
This is the reason I don't always say. Different entities change your place. Because whosoever, whether you're a Republican or who win, you're supposed to back labor. And labor would come after you. Straight up. Mm-hmm. That's it. You ain't supposed to be on no photograph or something campaigning for this vote or that vote. No. Regardless of whoever, I've seen that going on all the time between Trinbago and this one and because hello, regardless of who government come in, they're supposed to know TUCO, they're supposed to support whether PNM or UNC. You supposed to know your culture, whoever win, you back that. Straight up. So you ain't supposed to back none. You vote whoever you want. Straight up. You're not, if you're the leader of any entity, you're supposed to campaign or go on nothing for nobody. Anybody who win, whether PNM or UNC, supposed to know they have to support that. You know, when they win now, you tell yourself, okay, because they no.
Well,
you're supposed.
Well, that's how it's supposed to be. But when you listen to the rant of a particular NP, you will tell yourself, well, it's different. Because you see, when they win, they're going to treat the other side a different way. Who's the other side? The people who just come out of parliament. Who's the other side? The people who just come out of parliament? The people who just come out of parliament happy. The other side is the people. So but that
you're supposed to keep yourself out of that.
But that is indicative of the nature of politics in Trinidad and Tobago and how they think.
Yeah.
And that to me is really sad.
It's very, very. I supposed to say, well, I the president of Pan Trinbago. Hello, regardless to if PNM win or UNC win, they're supposed to back the culture. Shoot point blank. End of case. Whether I ain't campaigning for you at all. If my members choose whosoever they want to vote for. But bottom line, I encourage none of them. Election time coming, all you go and vote. Choose the other side. That's it. Talk done. Later.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
A 25-year-old man was gunned down in Maloney on Friday evening, just minutes after reporting to the Maloney police station as required under his bail conditions. Police said Jamal Shepherd of Maloney Gardens was shot multiple times around 6:50 p.m. at Gull Terrace, Maloney. According to investigators, Shepherd had reported to the Maloney police station at approximately 6:38 p.m., where his bail book was stamped and signed in keeping with the conditions of his bail pending a firearm and ammunition charge. He then left the station in a Nissan Versa and drove to a home of a female acquaintance. Police were told that while speaking with a woman outside her home, Shepherd said he believed he was being followed by a white motor vehicle after leaving the police station. Moments later, a white vehicle pulled up near where the pair was standing. Two armed men got out of the vehicle and opened fire in Shepherd's direction. He attempted to escape by running and climbing over a nearby wall into a neighboring yard, but the gunmen chased after him, continuing to shoot. Shepherd was struck multiple times and collapsed in the yard. Coincidence? Coincidence?
What do you think?
He was bad lucky. Let's leave it there. That is a better. That sounds better.
I really doesn't want to comment on them things so much because I don't want to sound like I hating on a particular.
Good afternoon, caller.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Lawakatari Match Referee. Good afternoon, Umpire Matterson.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Well, additional better frame again, as I told you, with my makeshift gadget, they are getting a little better reception. Yeah.
You have a close hang on your radio?
Huh?
You have a close hang on your radio?
It's a wire. Close wire. Yeah. I made an extension. I went back to basic and made an extension.
Old school, yeah. Old school.
Old school. You guys see, Bongos will be happy to hear it. But the thing is, the signal apparently need a little update.
Right.
Because I hear station from San Fernando stronger, just so, without my apparatus there. And that part, and your station there is a difficulty. But anyhow, I was hearing a gentleman talking about the gentleman before the last caller there. And you see, we keep forgetting because we went through that early over and over. A Westminster system and a plural society. I have a lot of intricacies that people do not understand and people do not know about. And because in the end, people have a tendency to vote people who look like them. Chidi Jagan call it a Panjat voting in Guyana. So we always have to take these things into consideration. Because because we have to be this politics in Trinidad or in a plural society, especially a tight plural society like Trinidad and Tobago, is always a balancing act. Because you may do one thing, it will offend one group. You'll do an next thing, it will offend the other group. And so you always have to be balancing and you're just balancing act. So that is how it is. And we have to understand that. But unfortunately, we were not oriented from small how to live in a plural society. And that is where the problem is. So how many years after independence now, we're having great difficulty. And still watching one another as we versus them and them versus we, as the case may be. So that is how it is. This thing has to be started from primary school coming up the road that we not live in Grenada or St. Lucia or St. Vincent, which are more or less homogeneous society. But even in Tobago, which more or less are homogeneous society. We in Trinidad, different compositions, different ethnicity, right? And two major ethnicities. We got one is about 39.6% of the population, and the other one about 40.3% in the population. So that is what that is about. I don't know if you have any questions for me.
Well, I want to know if we could tell the truth and still survive politically in Trinidad. Are we that type of society where we could discuss empirics and data, or you have to sell promises for political survival?
Well, you have to market yourself as a politician, right? But the truth is always the truth will always prevail. So everybody have to know that, right? Because nothing hides, as they say, nothing hides under a bushel, and it will come out after a time.
Because I've always heard that NAR had to take the tough decisions that were very unpopular, were very, but the part with the cards that they were dealt, they decided to do the right thing. Their survival was short, but they had to.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I want to know, we just under 2 minutes. If you think we are at the stage where we could talk empirics and facts and ideas, or we still into the politics of promises. You still have to create 40,000 jobs, and I say I could beat that. I created 60,000. And the argument is between 40 and 60, but we're not discussing the data.
Yeah, you see, the politics politics in itself is an adversarial game, right? Consensus, conflict all the time. But going back to the NR, in my opinion, they did not explain structural adjustment, what it was about.
Right.
I don't know, wasn't aware of it until I went to the university.
Yeah.
And I studied, when I saw it, I studied a lot. And because it wasn't sold to the public. People didn't know the reason why they had to cut public service, why they had to cut COLA and wages and salary in general and all this kind of thing.
Yes.
Right? Why we had to introduce VAT.
So it was a communication thing.
A communication thing. Remember, it was a new thing to the society. Right? So everybody was saying Robinson Bar, and not knowing that Robinson had to operate like that because he was working on what they call bitter conditionalities.
Right.
The IMS found the IMS found Trinidad had too much wealth to be broken to that extent in 86. Right? The IMF paid special attention to that because what he was saying, as Manley said, money passed through here like a dose of salt. Like Michael Manley, he said Michael Manley said money passed through Trinidad as a dose of salt.
What we saying here, our thesis is that you need to speak the truth to the people.
Yeah.
Right? Use the data to show the people the truth and let them know exactly what could happen and what cannot happen, or what will be bad for Trinidad and Tobago and not necessarily what you feel to tell us that to necessarily get a vote and both parties do it. What I'm saying is that if you look, I mean, we run out of time, but if you look at what's happening in places like Ukraine, look at what happened with Ukraine and Poland recently, where Zelensky had to end up returning an award, a decree that was given to him sometime in 2023. But we out of time. You'll call us back.
Join us after the break, caller.
You've got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the street 919 FM.
Join us. Strictly local radio show, blazing the best positive hits out of TT. Hottest radio show.
Welcome. You are now locked in.
Every Saturday, 6 to 8 p.m., blazing the very best in Trinbago music and more, sending the heartbeat of the Twin Islands straight to the world.
This service is a massive communication product that aims to provide a new media platform for local TT entrepreneurs.
You're now locked into one of the hottest radio shows. Send us your voice notes or call in live and rep your district. Whether you're in East, West, North, South, or Sweet Tobago, this is your show, your sound, your culture. Radio show. Strictly local, hosted by the one and only DJ Flex 868. Don't miss it. Every Saturday, 6 to 8 p.m. Only on the streets 91.9 FM. The vibes, the culture, the sound of Trinbago.
We blaze all the best in TT. Hashtag rep your district.
Is a whole lot of flavor wrapped up in a twist. Some of them try to rap, but they don't rap like this. Because the KFC tenders and lettuce and carrots and shredded tortilla embedded, perfect wherever you headed. Dripping with that creamy mayo and that mambo sauce. Let me tell them one more time to get my point across. It's a craveable, crunchable, movable, functional, flavorful meal that your taste buds must endorse. KFC crunch twist, crunch twist. None of them, they don't make them like this.
Introducing KFC's Crunch Twist, a flavorful wrap with a delicious difference for just $29.95. KFC, it's finger licking good.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Do we have to sell promises? Is that what our politics is about? Is that what our politics has come to? A promises contest. Without facts, without due diligence, just promises. Is that what we have come to accept as politics in Trinidad and Tobago? Father's Day is here, and many homes and families will be busy making all its necessary preparations for this special occasion. I know for some there can be mixed feelings, for they have maybe lost that special person, that father figure around the house, or he may not be at home at present. I say to you, stay strong, keep the faith, and don't allow it to get you down. I would like to encourage the fathers of our nation that they will still have and will always have a crucial role to play in the home and in the nation. Even more so as we take a look at what is taking place in our society, even in some of our schools. It is said that he's the head of the home, but that is not always the case. Practically speaking, for at times our women have to play a double role, mom and dad. This is a reality. This is in no way putting down our dads, for there are those who continue to do an excellent job. Being a father myself, I would like all our men out there to know that our role in the family structure is important, with special emphasis on fathers since we celebrate this day. Let us all on this day, men, take a fresh look at ourselves and ask, can I do better? I believe there are always ways for improvement. After all, none of us is perfect, for knowledge and is always increasing in doing things better. Whether we like it or not, as fathers, there are many roles we are called upon to play. For example, we must see our lives fulfilling the part of a provider. You put provider first, boy. Protector, advisor, and friend. And one who demonstrates love to those whom we have entrusted, just to name a few. We must take the lead and not leave it to the woman of the house. There's a debate, whoever writing this article. At times, we do increase her stress level when she now has to make up for our shortcomings. Thank God for these strong women. I agree. I would like to encourage the older fathers to make the time to mentor some of the younger ones. Our Twin Island need mentors in this area, for the challenges of life can cause those who are inexperienced and they want to give up. Things can happen. I conclude with two quotes. A father acts on behalf of his children by working, providing, intervening, struggling, and suffering for them. In doing so, he stands in their place. He is not an isolated individual, but incorporates the selves of several people in his own self. That's a quote by Dietrich Bonhoeffer. Of all the rocks upon which we build our lives, we are reminded that the family is the most important, and we are called to recognize and honor, how critical every father is to that foundation. They are teachers and coaches. They are mentors and role models. They are examples of success and men who constantly push towards it. And that's a quote by Barack Obama. Very good article.
Managing our own survival or aspiration and taking care of the children as a single parent. I mean, we have so many of them today, and which is probably one of the catalysts for some of the social problems that we have now, right? So yesterday, and in particular that article says a lot. By the way, how does it feel to be a new father?
Well, Just now, before I even get there, just now, let me answer Mr. Laughter. Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah. Mr. Laughter, quickly.
Yes, sir, go ahead.
The topic on the politics there, well, I want you all to listen to a calypso by the Mighty Cypher from 1967. It is called Last Election. And that will tell you how this politics of promise and promises and all this kind of thing. But I believe the world has changed, begun to change from this politics, that more or less politicians trying to do as much as possible from the manifesto or what their intentions for the different countries are, their country, which is different from what we call the standpipe politics of the 60s and the 70s point. So, but it's interesting to listen to that calypso, Last Election. I don't want to ponder too much on the politics again because I realize you all going to social upheavals now, like this family crime and in my opinion, crime has its foundation, has roots in poor family systems, right? Because remember, we had a thing in the 70s, after the breakdown of the 86 when the narrow came and people had to go, one parent going abroad and the other one here, and we started what we call a new type of family. They call international family, because the mother and the father abroad and one here and one abroad. So they call it in sociology the international family, and that caused single parenting. So, some men go, they never came back. Some women go, they never came back. And it started with the barrel trade. The barrel trade with sending school books, school uniform, everything from abroad, and all this kind of
the
thing.
barrel children.
And the barrel children, and sustained the barrel children. Okay? Right? So that all these cause this kind of thing, from that when the economy went right down in 86 when the NAR came. And of course we had to introduce the structural adjustment conditionalities and IMF program. So it goes back to that. We can really check from that family and family life and discipline and everything right down to nothing. Remember the years before?
A lot would have, probably the catalyst of that would be change in the economics of Trinidad and Tobago, because when things start changing, even in that period I talk about, because I grew up in that period and my mother was home, but as things changed, as the economics changed in Trinidad and Tobago, people decided that sometimes two parents had to go out and work. Right? Things get inflation, things get harder, and then you start having more social problems because you have more outdoor activities, more things happening that encourages men to be out or women to be out in a certain way, and you have more what we would call infidelity and all that kind of thing, and all of that would have brought about a whole lot of other social issues, which we are reaping the whirlwind of now.
So Kola, from your experience, do you see the whole crime situation and the issue we are having with juveniles and young men today being directly linked to the lack or the absence of fathers in home? Would you say that? Have you seen that and observed that over your, just by your social little observation? Do you see that as a factor?
Yeah. Yes, as a participant observant, I have seen that, that the lack of a father in particular in a home, the home grows up without a father figure, and a father more or less controls what father says goes, and if there is no father home, it's a problem because stepfather in business, stepfather just looking to survive. Right?
Yeah, and the village don't raise that child again. The village destroys that child now.
Yeah, the village destroys our child. And what happened too in from 86 a lot of grandparents had to see about their grandchildren, because either both parents went abroad or one went abroad. So the grandparent had more or less had oversight and had to almost literally bring up those children and being some of them at advanced age, all kind of thing. So they couldn't pay particular attention. Remember, they had already grown their personal children.
That is true.
So the family structure became dysfunctional, right?
Yeah.
And because of that is the key pillar that caused this breakdown in the society. People say what they want, right? That family structure. I grew up in a home. My mother, I never knew no stepfather, no stepmother. I grew up in the country, rural, right?
Yeah.
I grew up with my mother and father. I have no stepsister, no stepmother, no stepbrother, no stepfather. I know nothing about that type of family at all, right? So, the economics or the lack of economics and finances from 86 coming forward, it caused a tremendous breakdown, which hasn't been the effects still here today. Yeah, the effects here still today.
Did you grow up under disciplinarian? Was that a cornerstone of your upbringing, discipline?
Of course, discipline. I was 18 years and my mother said, hit me some wet kitchen towel if she tell me go wash the vase and I play like I want to wash it.
You're playing man. You're playing man.
I play man. We play man one. Personally, I prefer the girl licks with a belt than a wet kitchen towel. You know? I hate kitchen towel from that time. I was keep far away from that. From those now. Yeah. Another thing, you couldn't put your shoe inside the lady living room and thing. She when she wanted once and you move, she pelted it outside the other one pick it up. You understand? Yeah. I tell you, man. Yeah. But I was a child. I from wherever I had the talent to know, because I hardly get licks in my father's house, because when he stretched out the index finger and he said, don't do that. I know how to stop that.
You fall in line.
I just hardly get.
You fall in line, so you hardly get the belt.
I get straight like a pin. Yeah. Another small pin as a pin. Yeah. Yeah. So that you cannot discipline. I had a little boy and I see he said take a do something. When he finished drink milk, from the bottle, he said, "Pell the bottle." There I say, well, what is that? I started showing him finger. I never beat him because he started learning the same way I learned. When he see that finger, he know you have to stop any stupidness. You tell me you now drink your bottle and your milk, your tea and bottle, you just pell the bottle. A little boy, you know.
But where did all that discipline go, Caller? Where did all that discipline go? Because we grew up under strict discipline. Where did it go?
And that time was different.
Well, the discipline started deteriorating, I tell you, because of the dysfunctional family.
Right.
And then you had the education system, the junior sec. Right. When parents didn't have proper supervision over their children, because while parents working, who not abroad and here still, children home. Right, so the children do nobody to look after them properly.
But
so
here,
whatever they want.
Caller, that discipline you just spoke of, that you know brought about the fear of God in you to do certain things.
Yeah.
That to a large extent was continued when you go to school. Remember, in the time you grew up, I'm sure it's around the time I grew up too. When you go to school and you do madness in school, you're getting your tail cut in school, you know? In school,
but of course,
and it wasn't it was dispatch.
It wasn't abuse.
It was no abuse.
Yeah,
right.
But you're getting something. Proper.
I had a teacher named Mr. Braffett. He had a leather strap. I don't know if it's a machine strap or what kind of strap.
A sewing cord, machine cord.
Sewing machine, you know that whole thing, a machine?
Lord, that'll sting it.
Thin strap. He had a strap. And when you see that man call you,
you're telling the truth.
You're peeing your pants in there. Right? Because you know you're going to get it. You know you do some nonsense. Right? And to me, all those things would have protected you as an adult. It would have instilled a certain kind of discipline to know wrong and right. You ain't supposed to be hitting your classmate. You ain't supposed to be doing certain things. And you ain't supposed to be thieving things from your classmate, lunch kit and all that kind of thing. And all those things are things that instill a certain kind of discipline to a large extent now. We don't necessarily have that. That is actually against the law.
Yeah, child abuse.
Right? But to what extent has it facilitated what we have now? The movement of that.
So yeah. So Caller, you do you see good in corporal punishment, or you see it bad, it outdated, it wicked, slave method? How do you see it?
I feel corporal punishment, once it is deserved, right?
Yeah.
It should be executed. Right? Because you have to understand, from the time you go to school in the morning, from primary school, you have to line up in the morning before you enter classes. And there'll be an inspection from your fingernails, your footwear, your pants, your clothes, your hair properly.
Like you went the same school I went to.
Well, that was the benchmark for discipline in schools in those days.
Correct.
Right?
We only talking discipline. We only talking discipline, tolerance, and production. But that was watchful, and that was believed. That was you had to live by.
You
that.
Start from your fingernails.
Yeah. But now you're passing by By higher, you're seeing this big discipline, tolerance, and production. Nobody disciplined, nobody tolerant. Politicians not even tolerant.
But it seemed that in that era, the adults were adults. Today, I'm not sure. The adults were adults, and the adults may not always agree, but the majority of them will watch something and say that is wrong. Today, you have adults saying, we're not sure, maybe, lady boy, oh gosh, you're too wicked. The adults confusing the thing. Because I know, caller, you from the era where you're getting 3 set of licks.
When you go, you get licks because you get licks in school. You had to have done something wrong.
And when your godmother come, when they tell your godmother when she come,
caller, when you get licks in school, you had to have, and your parents find out, you had to have gotten licks for something you did wrong. You might get next cut to you.
I'm not started again, but I told you, because I somehow I was able to see right from wrong from only o'clock. So I had to get licks. I didn't go up, you understand?
So your moral compass was straight. It was a knot.
Yeah.
Your moral compass was a knot.
Yeah. I from young I became my mom put me to be, I was an acolyte.
What?
From 7 years. Yeah. I went to primary school.
You're a good boy.
You're a good boy.
I did my homework, so no teacher had to beat me next morning or cut my tail for not doing homework and thing. I passed one entrance. I did my homework. Well, I was a girl in I remember a time, I could never forget that a teacher teaching history, and I just knock on the desk and born as a speaker, just so you know. And he said, oh, come. He said, well, don't wait for a fully principal, and I gave about 2 strokes in my hand with a purple hat. And when I tell you, that purple hat stung people's hand when you get it red. Your hand could be black as pitch. When you get it, it turns red, you know. Yeah.
I know here when you say purple hat, you're talking about the wood.
Mm-hmm.
I
never get it.
About 4 feet. About a 4 feet or a 3 feet rod. Just hit you say that distance. Yeah. So
you whine.
From a distance, you know.
In my days, you had a strap, boy. Boy, once you get that, you're whining.
Of course. Well, in my preschooling now,
yes.
The teacher named Miss Elena Cooper. She had a leather belt. She's called Jacko. You understand? So when little children children under the age of 5, when you hear that name Jacko, you getting your act together. That Jacko, when you get that, it's pain. It's a painful, thing. I want to call it lynching, but it's a painful
now,
activity.
we might song here like we condoning abuse, but to the public who listen, we're not condoning abuse. We are saying that it was if you were to compare then and now, you would see a marked difference, and therefore there must be a reason why things have deteriorated to the point it has today. And you would want to also go back and examine those methods to see if that or those methods help in some way curtail what we have today. Ekola? You think we should bring back them? Those kind of methods, or?
Well, I say maybe too late now, but you can make an attempt to see what could happen, because so many different social changes took place.
But you could still, as a parent, you could still, as a parent, take your action at home,
Yeah, of course. But you see what happening now. The children now, some of them will say, all right, I'll take my next one at home. And when they go, they let them bad company, friends lead them to different directions. That children say, I'll take my next one and I'll go home. But they're doing whatever they want. And when the parents get a report now about they did so and so, and the parents try to discipline them, it becomes an issue now. Yeah, so, we really changed. And you see, I keep saying this 1973 oil boom really changed up Trinidad, everything, Eh? That 1973 oil boom, Yeah. And that is why people now, people have this URP culture and this CPEP culture and all kind of thing because it was easy money. I remember as a young man when I went to, if I didn't have money in the oil, well, I started work in 1978. I started working in the government in 78, and you went to work and you had no money. You could just tell somebody, hey, look, I broke into that, they'll tell you, hold on, $100. They'll lend you, you know. And when that person bought it broke next time, you have to give them because $100 was like nothing. Because even in 73, 74, in the height of the oil boom, parents gave their children, I was told, I wasn't fortunate, that children went to school with $100 to buy snacks.
Really? What kind of
Wow.
Yeah.
I never experienced that.
Yeah. Yeah, I never experienced it, but it was reported in papers and it was the old talk all over the place that parents who could afford it in those days, in the height of that oil boom, right? That they were going to school $100. Yeah. Yeah. So that is how it is. So that was a shock. That was a really shocking culture shock in Trinidad.
Yeah.
That first oil boom, which we never got over. Anyhow, let me,
Right. Yes.
I hear about Prezi. I don't know if you have communications problem. I don't hear about Prezi at all.
I ain't even Prezi.
We just ask about Prezi all the time. Prezi like
Anybody know Prezi, please find Prezi for us. Make sure you're okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you have Brother Treves. That's the one who always call you. Tell him, hey, like you're working nowhere. What? That's Brother Treves. Well, nobody seems to know his whereabouts. I don't know. I hope he's alive. Yeah.
You have to report them to the commissioner.
It seems so.
Yes. All right, caller. Thanks. Have a good evening.
Okay, good to you. Good. Thanks.
So call us and tell us who was the disciplinarian in your home.
But those what the caller have said there, that actually, I mean, we might be looking at it as joke, but the thing is, we also have to examine those methods. Not necessarily, we can't go back.
No, we're not
Obviously,
going
we ain't
back.
There. We can't go back there.
It's a different era.
It's a different era. But you have the rights against children.
But the principle is the same.
Yeah.
It's discipline. Who was the disciplinarian in your home? Call us. Good afternoon, caller.
Well, I have to call back on this topic here. Well, I possibly used to get like religiously probably twice a week because I was completely miserable.
What kind of licks you talking about? Tell us.
Well, I used to get like my grandfather. I feel like he will save up licks for you. He will tell you, don't do so and so. For 2 weeks, he's telling you, don't go so and so.
Wow.
And he ain't it. But he waiting until you're sleeping. Sleeping,
you say?
And he catch you lie down sleeping.
Oh, God.
Before Shadow thing, I go wake you up with some blows. He was doing that. I think Shadow probably talked to him. For weeks, he said, look, do such and such that. Same thing. I go in there coming back all kind of one of that. Yes. He watching you and he passing and he'll say nothing.
Your grandfather's a wicked man, but
And you're going to...
He's saving it
and
up.
when one morning when you're sleeping,
oh gosh.
When you making joke, you hear what and you but that is joke. Why I like everything? Because I doing against for which I gone. Anyway, I have a cousin now. His mother and a lady about 2 doors from them had an argument. They had a little row.
Yeah.
You know? So the morning he passing going to work, passing going to school. And he going to school. And he passed Miss Agnes straight. And gone. And she go and by his mother now and say, so you have your son now not talking to me. When he get home the evening,
Bacchanal.
mother hold him. So you don't get in big people business. One product. Don't get into big people lick.
Yes. That's something we believed in long ago. We don't get children involved.
Yeah. You, when you pass there, don't get into my business with her.
Yeah.
You say good morning when you pass there and good evening and come back.
Correct. Discipline.
Yeah.
That is discipline.
Yeah.
Don't get in big people business.
Don't get in big people business.
But with all of that, I mean, to a large extent, what happened in society today, in some ways, is as a result of what happened then. Yeah. Think about it. So long time your parents used to tell the girl children, girls have to be seen and not heard. What has that done to the moral, the psyche of young women? Men doing them what they want now. All those things, to me, I mean, you had a lot of things that really created a lot of value for society and people in terms of training and in terms of upbringing, in terms of discipline.
Yeah.
Right? But some of which, to a large extent, would have created some of the problems that we have here today. Right? So even, somebody, I don't know, I was having a discussion yesterday with a friend of mine, and we were talking about the Bible. Yeah. I don't like to have these kind of conversations. But some people will say that the Bible was written in a certain kind of way for certain people. Right? And we know what happened with slavery and the Bible and Christianity and all that kind of thing. But think about it. When somebody hit it to the next cheek and all that kind of thing, all those things, to a large extent, I mean, it's a difficult discussion to have on radio.
Yeah.
But to a large extent, those things would have created certain kind of humans.
But those who take it literally,
Yes, and it created other things in society over the years.
Callers, don't forget to call 342-0081 466-5391. Who was the disciplinarian in your home? Call us and tell us. And tell us what that discipline, what form did it take?
Well, my mother used to save it up. She used to tell you, when your father come, he go deal with you. And he would come just like...
But who gave the report? Who prosecuted?
That no prosecutor. He just doing what she said.
He just executed. Who was the disciplinarian in your home? We're talking about discipline in the context of father, family, crime. Let us know. 342-0081 You have to call in and tell us who was the disciplinarian in your home, and tell us in what form did that discipline took. Did you kneel down and agree to? I've heard a lot about hand in the air.
Yeah, that kind of Tobago thing, way.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about different forms.
Kneel down and agree to hand in the
You
air.
know?
I guess that probably happened here too, but I hear about that a lot.
Good afternoon, caller.
Hi, good afternoon to the Empire.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes. Well, I now put on the radio. Well, I was out of the vehicle just doing something, so I go back in. So, but I hear the question, and I have a gist of what you were talking about. Both parties were the. Well, my father's still alive, but my mom passed. But
thank God.
Daddy was the executioner. He was the executioner first. Then the disciplinarian.
Right.
He's a retired police officer. He's 93 now.
Wow.
Yeah, he's still going chirp. Yeah. But mom, she was she was everything in one, boy. But she used to wait for he when she can't handle it, because what we used to do is to take up and run. But she can't catch me.
She running you down.
But she running with down. As I come out of the bathroom, she has she wet towel waiting, or she have a hot
Plenty of that.
or as you lie down on the bed, good night, you come, give a little kiss something, and you just need to open back. Everything okay? Yeah, yes. And you whop. Under the cover, you get some last week. Yeah, good talk. and we used to get in savings too, because at that time she was a nurse.
Yeah.
So I was spending some time by the housekeeper. That's in the St. Augustine area.
Yeah.
And what happened is that, so me and my good friend Anil will be by the standpipe bathing. So Anil's mother, she also passed, turn off the pipe. Or the fully bucket, don't have the water running, bathe, but turn off the pipe.
Yes.
Rain takes you on the second time, turn off the pipe. Third time, I get a tap on my back. And what she catch her right on the waist, little, we just had a little tire.
Oh, good.
She catch and it'll straight on the shoulder. Nothing. Same time as Myra coming. What going on to all you? Nothing. Everything good. Oh, you get a mark on your waist. I said, no, top it up to a light too. I said, is the branch hit me by mistake? There is a branch hit me, but it's how I get hit. And why I get hit. So, about 2 weeks later, something happened. She said, you remember the pipe? Miss Mina tell me, Diana's mother, Myra tell me what you do. And I get like a saving. But despite all of that, God rest her soul, did I believe for money? I can speak for myself.
Yes.
They did a good job with me. And I mean, I'll test this out like we all, but I still thank God for what my parents did. And there are certain things that I don't buy, but I don't fork, I don't give up. I don't put aside. Can't do that. I have children now.
Yes.
My eldest is 32, the youngest is 23, 3 in total. And I have grands because my eldest child, she became a parent. And I don't go up to the foundation, certain things. Yeah. Because you see, at the end of the day, we tell ourselves, the youth today tell ourselves, well, we have technology at our fingertip and everything fast paced, and we don't need this anymore. I don't need to say good morning. I don't need to hold a door for a lady. No. These are things that is the foundation.
Yes.
Don't put steel in your concrete. Don't put BRC in your concrete and your concrete will crack.
Right.
Don't put a stick to hold a tomato tree at a certain height. It will bend and break up on you.
Yeah.
Come on. These are the things you can't just go give up or bypass. So that is my little anecdote for me with my parents.
Thank you, Collier. Thank you for sharing.
So as you all, at that time, you all started laughing to us. So yes, keep up a good job. You all educate, but you all also entertain.
Yes.
So keep up a good job.
Thank you, sir.
Understand before wherever you are, have a good day.
Yes, Dr. Samoy. She's out. The number to call is 342-081-466-5391. Tell us about who was the disciplinarian in your home. And did you regret that discipline experience? Did you threaten to kill yourself? Did you threaten to run away? But you didn't really know where to go. Every week you're running away. But you really don't know. Because it's more like that. Because nobody not going to take you. Because no adult was going to take you. Any adult was going to listen to you and then carry you back home. Which made absolutely no sense. So you really didn't have an escape. Call us 342-081-466-5391. We're talking about discipline and discipline in your era.
Oh, so you playing man?
In your home, you playing man.
You sleep outside tonight.
Discipline, what form did it take? I hear about the wet towel. I hear about the spoon. I hear about the
Swizzer stick.
The Swizzer stick.
Plenty of that.
The machine cord. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Marcus and Ronaldo.
Yes, sir.
You find me get all that discipline, Paul Prime all that discipline. We get like contact and tell me about somebody like that. We get too much Alex.
Did you get, sir?
Did you get? So we can't see we way.
Did you get discipline, and what were the types and forms of discipline you received?
Well, my mother, she had contact in the spirit, his legs, his cables, his belt, his all that kind of thing.
Wait. Cable, you say?
Yeah, I say my mother was evil, but that was like a contact in the mentality, boy. Anything she pull.
Anything she pull is legs.
With soap. You ever get time with soap in a barrel of water?
Ooh, soaking it too?
Yeah, hose, all kind of thing, everything. My mother used to beat me in the house for days.
We laughing at this.
Yeah, it's true.
You know, it's serious thing, yeah. I used to say, but that kind of slave mentality, but I used to run away, all kind of thing, you know.
You run away and come back?
Because them legs is called you run away and come back. That's because of effect and cheering and thing, man. Because some persons go out and everything they grab, they want to beat you with it.
Do you regret it? Do you
Because
regret it, or you?
they get a mentality from the slave master, you know.
Yeah. You're right. Do you regret the discipline you received, or looking back, you understand it and you appreciate some of it?
How much time you spend in prison?
Yeah, of course.
How much time you spend in prison, KFC?
Me?
Yeah, quiet. You are talking.
Prison ain't make the right figure. Anybody can go in prison.
No, me ain't talking about for
Me,
protesting.
I never spend no time in no prison, man. I just, no lock up and that thing, but I know about to spend time and years, I think I never spend time in prison.
So you was ready, you really needed to get a cocktail every now and again.
Yeah. Well, I look at it now and again, going I'm not sure, and I see getting cut till and run away. Because it's a youth man money by next door. You know, him what I said beat him. For a man like greater thing, you know, 2 big stone in the head, 2 big stone in the hand now.
Wow.
That was not talking money.
Huh.
I tell you, I people through my fence and watch when you get in next to mother said, go there and kneel down and the greater. Take 2 big stone and hold that in your hand. So my question, some girl legs they come out good, some girl legs and they come out bad.
Correct. You're right.
So my question, I love to understand.
All right, thank you. And that grater you talk about, like not the small grater we always have on grating cheese these days, eh?
Grater, take a piece of
That had to be the big.
A piece of tenon, take a nail, and you pound some hole in it. You make a bend it and you make a grater.
That had to be the big grater.
Big grater, you kneel down on that.
And the one you're grating coconut on.
That means your foot going and bleed just like coconut.
Discipline. It is funny how we saw it back then, what we called it. Good afternoon, caller.
Nah, but that's brutal, way.
Good afternoon, caller.
Hello?
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you all there.
Yes.
Was that PLC was speaking before?
Yes.
Okay. No, I just wanted to make sure I ain't really call friendly. Okay, you all have a blessed afternoon.
Okay. No problem. 342-008-14665-391. Who was the disciplinarian in your home? Call us and tell us. And tell us what form that discipline took. How did you deal with it? Do you appreciate it looking back? When you look back now, you study it.
It had all kind of discipline. I mean, you ever make you write 5,000 lines before you go home? Stay in school and write 5,000
I couldn't get any
before
school
you
trouble.
go.
My father was a teacher. I couldn't get any trouble in school. That was outlawed. That would have been double
trouble.
Yeah, you can't. It's like the gentleman who said his father was a police. Crime was not for him. I don't know. You could not, depending on what profession your parents was in, certain things was outlawed. You couldn't. Although they say sometimes your children just do the opposite. But really and truly, I was forbidden from giving trouble. I would give it what would be categorized as petty crime. I will do petty crime. I will not get the grade. I will get just below it and that stuff. But I couldn't give. Teachers were priests in my home. And anything a teacher said, he had to be right. So the teacher go lie on you. So the teacher mad then. So the teacher just don't like you. See how children just come up today and say the teacher ain't like them? Mm-hmm. The parents long ago didn't really take that, They didn't really believe that story. You couldn't just say the teacher don't like you, the principal don't like you. So nobody don't like you in school. Nobody. They licks. They licks. Because you're lying. That's an easy case to try. That's not even reaching the appellate court. That's not reaching anywhere.
Somebody tell me the other day, was call my mommy and tell she something.
That's a different era. That's a different era. We talk about discipline in the family, discipline in the home, and we talk about, corporal punishment and different forms. The number to call is 3420081. Don't be shy, you know. Don't be shy, all of y'all. We ain't talking UNCPNM bacchanals, all you're quiet. You only get licks. We want to hear who administered the discipline in your home. How did you treat with it? Who did you threaten? Because you're always threatening somebody.
The most I can remember, because I got like something already, little minor thing, but I had a teacher boy.
Let me take this call. Hold on. Good afternoon, caller.
I'm back again. My last daughter, she's 26 now. I remember the teacher calling and the mother complaining. She getting on the class, she's distracting the whole class and all kinds of stuff. For months this going on. I went on by the school. Well, they have security. Well, they know me by the school. I walk in the school, I go up by the class. I stand up and I watching her in the class. And I watching the behavior by the door. I say nothing. Well, children know when they behave, you know.
Yes.
They know how they get off.
When she see it, like she fear God.
Yeah. So the evening now, she jump in the car. Oh, daddy this and daddy that. Daddy this and daddy that. Daddy this and daddy that. Oh, daddy this and that. Whole road went home. Daddy. I say, how she daddying me up so today? So when we reach home now, I take off my belt and I press it aside. So she go inside and when she coming back out, I say, daddy, but I talk to you too many times. Annalisa, now here they say, but the police will hold you. And I say, well, listen, at least she will have on her record that my father make a jail for me. You understand?
Yes.
Because it's better I do it than the police do it to you.
Yeah. Yes. That was the thinking.
Because out there, when you want to hear, nobody doesn't babysit you on the street.
Yes.
So if you think you're going out there and have disrespect people, so you better get discipline from home. When I finish with her, the next month, when I go to the school, the teacher said, mister, whatever you do, keep on doing it. I say in my mind, that thing you do, keep on doing.
Correct.
But at least you have to know what a cocktail is about.
Yes.
You have to know that. One. I say, the teacher say, whatever you do, keep on doing that. I said, no. In my mind, I say, you don't have to keep on doing that. She know what it is about.
Yes.
She come here and test. Hi.
She eat bulb.
Read. Everything went straight for months.
Wow.
Yes. Simple. And they tell me, what? Take her here, take her there, take her for therapy, take her to what? I say, I think all you need therapy. I want to feel that all you need therapy. All you go and see the psychiatrist. Because all you had the tail wagging the dog, crazy. All you need psychiatrist. Talk to you later.
All right. Good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
Yes, my father was the disciplinarian in the home. And let me tell you, long-time parents, a lot of them, what they'll call child abuse now, some of them were very abusive towards their children.
Yes.
A lot of parents feel licks is discipline. You don't beat a child because, let me tell you, I remember when I was growing up in Curet, was three of us, my sister and my brother and I. My brother was going to Queen's Royal College. And my father, if he get any report like in his report, saying he this, he that, and my father will beat my brother. And he keep doing the same thing. And my mother intervened, and my mother said to him, she said, you don't realize you only beaten him, and he continued to do the same thing. She said, all you have to do, and I learned that from my mother, she said, take away privileges. Because the licks was not doing anything. You know what my brother used to say? Man, I'm preparing for the licks, whatever it is he do. And he know he go get the licks, and he think. And when my father started implementing punishment, you know my brother turned change. When in the days, well, you have in the school class party, when it's Christmas, whatever thing the school have, we getting to go, and my brother, then he getting the punishment. You know, my brother used to cry long tears. He did prefer, he did get the licks, so whatever he did in July or May, when Christmas reach and we go into the class party, he can't go. Punishment. But when parents just feel I go beat them, and what they continue doing the same thing. I have two sons. I could count the times I beat the two of them, and they turned out very good. Yes. My first son used to go St. Mary's College. St. Mary's College over in 2:30. I finishing work at 4. He reached home twice after me. I tell him, I said, listen, I said, don't you ever let me reach home here before you. I say, you have no football practice, you have no basketball, you have no lessons. You supposed to be here before me. And that was it. But when you only want to be beaten as a child, and they keep doing the same thing, you're wasting your time. The police could put their hand on you. That is why there's so much child abuse right now, because parents not disciplining. All they're doing is beating, and that is the mistake they make. You'll have a blessed evening. Reach
right.
overseas.
Good evening. Thank you, caller. That's a view as well.
Everybody have a different, but
yeah.
She's correct.
Yeah.
Because beating a child sometimes physically does irrevocable damages to that child sometimes.
Because some people internalize violence. Some people internalize hitting.
That's some trend from each time they see something that resembles what was happening to them, the PDSL hunting.
Good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon, caller. President, good afternoon. First time caller to your program.
Yes, good afternoon.
I don't know who the hosts the name of the host, or the name of the show, but I'm happy to have gotten in.
It's the third umpire show.
Third?
The third umpire's show.
Or the third umpire show.
Yeah.
Good show. First time I'm listening to your program. Good show. In my home, in growing up, my mother was the disciplinarian.
Right.
And she used to share left, right, right. In those days, I'm currently 64, going on to 65.
Right.
And the licks worked with me in the sense that I didn't like licks. I was afraid of licks. And in those days, you used to get licks even in school, you know, and so I was afraid of licks. And I didn't used to do anything to get licks. If I get licks, I mean, it's going up. If I get licks, let me say 10 times, I get licks plenty. But I used to get licks for running away to fly kites. Do you understand? I used to run away and fly kites, fly kites in those days. To be like the breeze used to be going more than it's going now. But yeah, so my mom was the disciplinarian and licks, I was afraid of licks, so I didn't use it. But I would not, I agree with some of the folk, the last callers, licks should not be the main form of discipline. I think it should be a last resort, and it should be administered in a nice way. And I say in a nice way, you know, there are places that you can do the discipline in as far as if you have to share licks, you know. But just it was said earlier on, they just hit the child all over, abuse the child. So I'm not talking about that. But I think this was a deterrent in my growing up. With my mother read, my mother and father, they were married, and I know both parents, and there are 7 of us, and licks was the way of discipline in those weeks with my parents. But my mother was the one who administered the licks, and my father, he was also a disciplinarian, but he was not around. He was the one out working, doing the work and so on. And my mother was the one at home, so she was the one who really did at home. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. No problem.
So I'll let the cat out the bag now. I get some licks in school. I remember a teacher. I'm not going to call his name, God rest his soul. But there's a place named Coco Benji. You see her around lunchtime?
Yeah.
So run away. It was just a little grassy area, woody area close to the school. We used to run away. And
Primary school?
Primary school.
Okay.
Run away and go in the forest there and jump in the river, jump over the river. The river was that river. What I call that river was a drain. Now looking at it was a little drain, but for me, little trend is a river.
Boys things that boys will do. Children
And when
will
you
do.
come back in school, this man had a shop. One of them little machine shop thing. Good. And when he see you, your bladder, everything get weak, because you know what you're gonna get. So that was an experience where, I mean, I know his licks. And you don't want to get that in school, because when you go home, you get licks, you're going to get more.
Yeah, the licks in school was that was the fear.
Mm-hmm.
If you get licks home, nobody might have known.
You see if you do bad in tests, ooh, they're frightened. Whole weekend they're frightened.
Now you're getting Nintendo, you're getting watch, you're getting all kind of thing, Xbox. It had
whole weekend you're frightened when you get alone.
as I was saying, if you get blown home, chances are nobody will know. Unless you were marked also. Or the neighbor going to school too. Is if the neighbor going to your school too? Your business might end up in the school. Mm. But you see, if your parent reach in the school,
ooh, and my mother used to compete here.
Good. You see that audience? That.
And they like to meet you in school, eh?
Yes. And listen, Miss and Sir, only sympathetic with you, but they can't really intervene.
They can't intervene.
They cannot intervene. They cannot intervene because your parent...
You do something wrong and the principal call your mother. You going to get... Your mother come into school with you and you're going to get contact in school.
it is so different. It is different. We think about it different. We have a lot of different theories about it, and there were people with bad experiences, we know. Mm-hmm. There were people who were victims of abuse. I remember in first form in Mocha, I went Trinity in first form before going to QRC, and I saw a guy, he was in an older form than me, maybe he was in form 2, we were in form 1, or maybe 3, his father come in school at lunchtime. I don't know what preceded that intervention. All I see is this man
in Mocha or
in Mocha. Right? All I see is this man take off his tie, roll up his sleeve, and start to hit that boy some briefcase. I didn't know if to call the police. I didn't know if to run. I felt so scared. I feel I was getting licks. But whatever happened to the father? No, the boy was a guy, a miserable guy too, to be honest. I'm not justifying whatever daddy did, but daddy had enough that day. Daddy roll up his sleeves like Mike Tyson, make sure and slacken his tie, and start to deal with some briefcase.
No, it had some poor parenting because bullies and thing in school didn't start. It just
Correct.
started. That
Correct.
bullies long. Even when I was going to school, it had bullies. I remember some of them by name.
Yeah.
Right. Real bullies.
Yeah.
And to me, like, I never see them parents.
Their parents don't come.
Their parents never come to school.
The parents you want to see
If I do a
never
onks,
make it.
if we do a onks, what them fellas do? We get cut us from home to school.
I wouldn't survive.
We could survive. But and I could so sometimes I could understand how a child could end up being a bully and have a lot to do with parents and parenting. And sometimes you might be seeing that kind of abuse home, you're feeling that, you know, you could do certain things to get your way and that kind of thing and take advantage of other children and that kind of thing. So that too is something that might have evolved.
Senior, 10 seconds, take us out.
Right. So, well, we had a good program today and we look forward to seeing you and interacting with you tomorrow.
You've got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the Street 919 FM.